Well, look what the cat dragged in. It's me. I'm what the cat dragged in. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are here with another installment of Halloween month and another makeup video. Mind you, this is going to be the last face paint look because next week, special effects, gory, blood. I am wearing a shirt, by the way. I'm wearing a black tube top because you'll see later, okay? Another thing I want to share with you is that I know I've said this every week, but it's important to me. We are still raising money for the Joyful Heart Foundation in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The Joyful Heart Foundation is a phenomenal charity that is advocating for and raising awareness for domestic violence survivors, sexual assault survivors, and child abuse survivors. And we are currently at almost $930 raised. This freaking close to 1,000, okay? And I want to tell you something. I've decided if we can get to $1,000 raised for the Joyful Heart Foundation before the end of the month, I will post live stream video makeup that I will be doing over on my Twitch channel, which is CaitlinJolene_Sims. Back when I was doing a different fundraiser for PCRF, I had a donation goal of getting to a certain amount of money, and I would do a bonus Halloween makeup stream, mind you, stream, not video, stream. So I'm doing a fifth look over on my Twitch channel, CaitlinJolene_Sims, on October 30th. Okay, so I'm doing that live on October 30th on my Twitch channel. But if we get to $1,000, I will then re-upload that live to this YouTube channel, CaitlinJolene_Makeup, and you can see a fifth bonus look. Okay, currently the votes are pretty strong for one of these really cool looks that I have kind of in my head as an idea. So if you wouldn't mind just clicking on down to the description down below, there will be a donation link. Pretty cool, right? I'm pretty excited about it. Like I said, we're almost at $1,000. And all these names that you can almost kind of see in these like purple hearts behind me are all people who have donated at least $5 to our campaign. And a large majority of them have donated significantly more than $5, which is crazy. So thank you all so much. Now, what am I doing today, you might ask? Well, there's this little, I don't know, this like tiny little movie that kind of came out this year. You might have heard of it. It's called Beetlejuice. That's what we're doing today. If you would like to see some images of that, here you go. Some inspiration, okay? So we are doing a Beetlejuice look. I even have moss that I fully intend on gluing to my face. White base paint, green, purple, moss, fun, okay? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little messy, which is the goal. It's a little dirty, a little messy, a little erratic. I love it. My main focus is gonna be making sure that this white base is nice and solid. You know, like that's gonna be my goal for the day. But anyways, with all that being said, feel free to like this video if you enjoy me, at least a little bit. Feel free to subscribe down below if you think that I'm moderately entertaining. And comment, what's been your favorite look this month so far? And if you've gone back on my looks in the past, I will need an opinion on what I should submit for my work Halloween makeup, well, Halloween costume, but for me, it's just Halloween makeup contest. Let me know at the end though, because what if this one's the one, you know? There's also like scariest, so I need to figure out which gory one I should do. There's a lot of things I need help with, so feel free to tell me in the comments. But with no further ado, let's get into it. Boom. Start off, I think I should maybe put on a pore primer, which I do not have out at the moment, but today I am going to be working with the Mehron Makeup Grease Paint Foundation. Mind you, I bought this for this year because I know that my white in my Makeup Forever palette, it's not a foundation, so it's not very consistent, and because the white is like the main focal point and the main color, if you will, of this whole look, I really want it to be good, okay? So I am going to go get my little primer. I'm gonna prime my face real quick with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty, and then we will start with this. First time trying it, we will see how it goes. I have a brush, I have a sponge, all of the above. I very generously just put this all over my face because I have a feeling that this is gonna accent every motherfucking pore out there, okay? On the back of this, it does say this lanolin enriched, which mind you, this could be really bad. I am sensitive to lanolin. I learned that because when I was trying to breastfeed my child and I put lanolin on my nipple, it did like get a rash. So this could be really bad for me, but like it's fine. Beauty is pain, or whatever they say. Lanolin enriched cream makeup provides excellent coverage for naturally vibrant look. Cleanse skin before application. Apply small dots of foundation evenly over desired area and blend thoroughly to sheer finish. For intense coverage, apply more liberally. So we just gotta open up this little box. Did you super glue this shit? All right, we're just gonna rip this little box. Foundation, grease paint, makeup. This is scary. Okay. So let's take dots with your finger. So, ooh. Okay. Oh, so interesting. Oh my. Yeah, it's really showing me those pores, that's for sure. We're gonna have to go down the neck today. I look phenomenal. I look like I'm going sunbathing. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. airbrush blender. I'm actually gonna dip it into this a little bit just to get a little bit on the brush, kind of prime it up a little bit, and then make sure we get nice and opaque. Oh, wow. It said liberal, but I don't know if I needed to be liberal. Look at this. Oh, one thing I can talk about, real quick. I don't want to yap too much because I learned last time when I was trying to edit that I yap way too much. And then the video becomes 47 minutes long because I can't shut up, or it just makes it really hard for me to edit everything out of me talking when I don't need to be. Who doesn't want to watch me put white foundation all over my face, really? I know I do. Don't forget your ears. Anyways, so I started a new book. I finally finished my book club book. Thank goodness. It was taking me forever because I don't really have a whole lot of free time in the month of October because, oh, we're really yellow now, huh? Our teeth are extra yellow. They look so good when I was red lipstick. Like last week, they looked really white, but now not so much. I don't really have a lot of free time to read, and I did, however, when I finished that book, accomplish my reading goal for the month, which was, or the year, sorry, not the month, the year, which was 50 books for the year of 2024, and I did it. So I feel pretty good about that at least. But I did start a new book, and it's called Deadly Education, I think. And it's I think it's YA fantasy, like dystopian type series, which is really interesting. And I started it, and I was so genuinely confused about what was going on in this story. I was 45 pages in yesterday, and I was like, what's happening? To the point where I literally had to look up a full explanation on Wikipedia of the setting of the trilogy so I could understand the school and like the world building a little bit. And this is the battle that people have. If you are a romance reader, you will understand this. You get like less than 100 pages in and you're like, okay, I'm not quite understanding what's happening. Is this because I'm tired and not paying attention? Or is this just like really complicated world building and I just don't understand it? And I feel like it was the latter because I feel like I have a bit more of a grasp on it now that I looked up a bit of an explanation on the setting. However, I've been told that it's great for the Halloween season. So if you're looking for like a fun little spooky book to read this Halloween or this October even, I would recommend. I haven't read it, so I can't say I recommend it, but I've heard it's a good one. So that's kind of what I'm working with. Let me know, have you been reading anything fun? Do you have any good book recommendations? Because I'm always looking for good book recommendations. I am a fantasy, romantasy girly, and I also do enjoy a good dystopian story. And when I'm in between my little fantasy books, I do also enjoy a good fluffy romance. But you know, any good recommendations, let me know. If you can't tell, I'm trying to like blend it down here to kind of fade into my skin a little bit and not be like fully opaque. Because then it'll just get like a little dirty looking and stuff, and I think that'll be good. Actually, I have a question for any of those readers out there. If you're a Goodreads person, do you actually review the books once you rate them, or do you just rate them with the stars? Because I don't ever really write reviews unless I have something that I feel like is important to say, but I don't most of the time. I think I've written 2 reviews on Goodreads this year, 2. that doesn't feel like a lot, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna keep doing this and then I'm gonna set it nice and good with our RCMA no color powder, like really generously. And then I think I'm gonna come on and we're gonna work with a little bit of the water activated paints and a sponge. This is a pack of Sassy and Chic cosmetic wedges. I believe I got them at the dollar store, but this is what we're gonna use to put some stuff on our face. All right, I'm gonna take just a random brush that can hold a lot of water. This is the purple brush in the pack that I use. That's like literally art paintbrushes. I'm gonna dip it in the water. I'm gonna dip it in the green. And I'm gonna try to make it really wet. So there are 4 greens in here, starting with the darkest here, and I'm probably gonna just use these 3 and not, this one's a little bit more neon, which is not my intention. I'm just gonna keep kind of adding water, and then I'm gonna kind of make a little concoction on the side over here on the cover that has paint and water mixed together that I can kind of dip my little sponge into and then like sponge it on my face to make it a little bit more like watercolory, I guess is my intention. And I'm gonna actually do that with the 2 darker of the shades and make little concoctions to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sponge, and actually what I wanna do is I kind of wanna rip off some of the bits here, just make it a little bit more like splotchy. So I'm just taking my fingers and like ripping this edge of this cosmetic wedge. So now this is the edge of my cosmetic sponge because I just ripped off a bunch of edges here. So I'm gonna dip it into this green paint. And I'm gonna take that green paint, oh, I can't see. And I'm going to just kind of start doing some of this, right? I just kind of want it to be a little bit all over the place. This is where creative liberties are real helpful, right? Like I'm just kind of making choices. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of having fun, you know? And that's okay. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be precise. This is all about entertainment and fun and chaos. Now I want to do the same thing, but I think I need another sponge. Good thing there's so many in here because I don't think I can use the same one twice because now it's covered in the dark green. So I guess I have to make a mess of this one too. Dip into the lighter green of the 2 and do the same thing, but just kind of overlap them a bit. There really is no rhyme or reason. I'm going strictly off of vibes at the moment, okay? It's pure vibes, pure vibe energy. I don't want to cover up all the white, but I just want it to blend with the moss a little bit, which is kind of my goal. And then I might even add some shadow to kind of give some like definition later to some of these things, but for now we're doing okay. So that's enough of the water-based paint for now. There's a good chance that I might need it for like my lips in a little bit, but I'm so sorry, that was so loud. I'm going to just go throw some of this stuff away and then I want to get started on the purples, but I do need to kind of swatch them on my hand. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. But I need to swatch the purples on my hand. So let me dip away for a little bit and then I'll come back and we'll discuss the purple eyeshadow and all that jazz. Okay, give me 1 second to clean up this chaos because I shredded some sponges. Okay, I swatched a bunch of shades. I like these 2 the most, but I realized I need to kind of get eyebrow situation also kind of dealt with. So I'm gonna take my NYX, this is just the brow glue. I'm gonna just brush it through them. And let that dry. And then I'm gonna take my NYX Lift and Snatch pen that is too dark for me and use that on them to make them nice and dark. So that is my current intention. However, this can be a little much, a little messy. So I'm really hoping I don't fuck shit up. But I didn't want the like orange tone of the other one. So let's hope for the best on this one. So I feel like the brows really make it. You know, I used my dark ash brown color, which is like really dark for my hair, so I don't use it very often, but it's like this. Let me try to make it a little wider for you. There you go, you can see a little better. It's much deeper than my actual brows. And then I put a little bit of white eyeshadow as well as a little tiny bit of like a nude eyeshadow over it. Also, if you look too close, you can see the chaos above my eyebrows. Stop looking. I zoomed you in, which means you're gonna be able to see the rough patch above my eyebrow, but this is the brush we're gonna work with. It's more of like a paddle shape and a fluffy. Also, my hands are a disaster right now. Like what is going on? I don't know, but it's fine. So I'm gonna dip into that lightest shade that I had swatched. It is a light, almost like pinky purple. And I'm gonna go in so very carefully because this is gonna be a labor of love. Purples are notoriously very hard to blend. They are also notoriously very patchy. And these are old, so there is a good chance that this is also just like an old palette that is a little bit patchy. So I'm gonna go in very, very, very slowly with my lightest shade. I put down a little bit of a nude shade in my crease already, kind of just to help us with the blend as we start going, but this is gonna be very blown out, and it does need to be a little bit messy, so it doesn't need to be perfect, but I don't wanna make a mess. And I'm just gonna be slowly working on packing this onto my lid and then buffing it out and blowing it out as like far up as I can really go. Like I fully intend on buffing straight into my eyebrow. So there's a good chance that a lot of the color in my eyebrow will get messed up. The hairs will be all over the place. It's fine. So I'm gonna start now that I've done 2 layers of shadow on the lid. I'm gonna start kind of moving it up and out and just taking my time. I'd rather do a bunch of layers and have it take a really long time than try to do it all at once and have it look awful, you know? I'm gonna take a very light amount as well. Oh gosh, I'm nervous about the fallout because if it gets all over the white, we're fucked. And I'm going to put it under my lid as well. So out of all the things that you've done today to create this, I do think that the white, trying to get that opaque and nice, does take some time, obviously. And then I think the next longest thing that you will probably do is this purple eyeshadow situation. So take your time, have some patience, grab a glass of wine, put on a little show, a video. A good show that I've been watching, and by good I mean terrible trash television, is Love is Blind season 7. It's chaotic to say the least, and I'm having a great time. Anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping and keep going with this purple. Okay, I'll let you know when we go to do the darker one, but for now we're just doing this light purple over and over and over again. All right, we got round number 1 of purple. Now we're gonna go into a darker shade of purple and kind of do the same thing, but a little less blown out. I'm gonna show you this shade now so you can see it. So there was our original, here's our next, okay? And then the very final boss, if you will be like a black shade, but I'm a little scared of that one, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like a lot scared, but there we go, that's a better swatch. So that's now the dark purple we're working on, okay? Okay. So same thing, I'm just gonna kind of tap it in here onto my lid to get the most pigment there. And then we will kind of work our way around and up. All right, I'm buffing it just a little bit to kind of soften the edges. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm actually going to just drag it out like this and start creating that dark shape that kind of goes all the way out and around. And honestly, I am also gonna take this because if you think about the actual Beetlejuice, they do have dark shades like all the way up into their eyebrow. So I'm also gonna take it up into my eyebrow a little bit. I'm kind of pinpointing it closer to the inner corner of my eyebrow, and then I'm letting it kind of fade out and be a little bit more splotchy towards the center. That's just to give some variation and some fun, if you will. I'm having one of those nights where I just wanna like vibe and do makeup, but I have to keep turning the camera on to show you guys. And so I'm sorry if I'm being a little like meh. I'm just like I'm vibing and I'm in the vibey mood. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, just so you know. But I did some purple. I'm trying not to make them perfectly symmetrical. I want them to be a little bit chaotic. And now I'm gonna take this dark brown. I don't necessarily want to take a pure black. I'm just afraid. But this is what it looks like. It's like a gray brown, so it will definitely add some depth. I'm taking a very tiny little fluffy brush now, and I'm going to try and, I mean, I do need it all over my lid, honestly, but I'm gonna try to do it nice and slow because I'm so afraid. So very afraid. I'm kind of tempted to make it a little bit more of like a halo effect. Is that crazy? Let me see what it looks like once I'm done. It sounds like a fun time. I kind of like the halo. I do kind of like it. Taking a little bit on the very tip of the same brush, and I'm gonna just kind of pat that into here. I do need to add some black to my waterline, and then I will also buff it out with this brush, but for right now, I'm just kind of focusing on this. I'm liking the messiness, okay. Now, I need to take my pencil liner. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Eye Pencil. I don't think this one's my favorite, if I'm being perfectly honest, but it's the one I grabbed, so it's the one we're gonna use. And if I hate it, then I will put it away and go get a better one. So I'm gonna put this in my waterline here. So before that gets super dry, I'm going to take, where are you? Why are you? I'm so sorry. You can really tell the difference here. I'm gonna take a little itty bitty tiny pencil brush and I'm gonna try to buff that out, and then I'll take the same blending with the eyeshadow and blend it in more as well. The difference between black eyeliner in and not in your waterline is crazy, so I highly recommend. I look like two different people right now. It's nuts. But I'm gonna do the same thing on this side without stabbing myself in the eyeball. So I need to do eyelashes, I need to do lips, and then we need to put the moss on. The lips I'm terrified of. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, the idea of getting the lips to look how I know I want them to look is concerning. Now, I have an idea. I have this eyeliner, lip liner. It's just a color pencil, they call it, but it's the Makeup Forever in Endless Cacao. I've used this a couple times this month because it's a very gray color. So I'm gonna try to kind of outline my lips with that. And then I'm thinking of taking another sponge in like a purple paint or even a purple shadow and trying to like pat it on really gently so I get a little bit more of that like diffused look. I think I'm gonna mainly focus the eyeliner in the center and then kind of like rub with my finger to kind of blend it out to the edges and like give that diffused look, but we'll see. Yeah, like I don't want a super defined outer corner. I just want super defined like lower and middle. Okay. Because the last time I tried to use shadow on my lips, it was not very good. And that's my concern. Is that shadow's just gonna look patchy. It's quite diffused on the edges still, but defined in the center, which is what I wanted. I do also have this Sephora cream lip stain in this shade 13. This is like a mauve-y color, and what I'm kind of thinking is if I just like dab it on and then like blend it out with my finger, maybe it'll provide a good base to put then the shadow on top of and get that like blown out look. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, that gave a much more like defined, but now I'm gonna take some shadows and like kind of blend around and try to see if I can get a cool like combo of colors here. So I'm gonna do that off screen because I do think this will take a little bit of play, but I'll be back, okay? Yay. I did a couple of things. I added some more green around with like shadow just to give a little bit more depth and dimension to some of this color that we got going on. I finished up the lips. It was a labor of love. It's fine. It's not like my favorite thing in the world. And then I did my lashes and I even put on falsies today. Who do I think I am? All right, so what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be putting some moss on our face. Now, I'm going to need liquid latex for that, obviously. But this is like real moss. I tried to look up like SFX moss. Turns out SFX moss is just moss. So I'm gonna put that down here on this palette. Oh my God, there's literal trees in this. My intention is to put a little bit of latex onto here. Let me zoom you out just a little bit more, just to make sure. Oh, that's in. You would think I would know by now. My intention, I had to zoom you out more so you can see more of my chest. So I'm gonna put a little bit, see my wig has bangs, and so I feel like you're not gonna be able to see a lot of this up here, but I wanna put a little bit here, some on my ear, and then on my neck a little bit, and just like kind of have some fun with it. But first, I'm going to take some of this liquid latex. Now, when you're using liquid latex, you want to let it dry a little bit before you put stuff on top of it. I'm gonna just have to put it on my hand, I guess. Just a little bit on my hand. My finger is now covered. It's gonna be fun to peel off later. You know when you're like in school and you put Elmer's glue on your hand? Not intentionally. I never did it intentionally. I know others did, but I never did. But you'd put a little Elmer's glue on you and then you'd be like, hee hee, look at this. And then you'd peel it off once it dried. Yeah, that's gonna be me right now. Taking a little bit of latex on a sponge, and I'm going to just kind of start placing it. So as latex dries, it will clear a little bit. You guys become more clear, I should say. You guys, I don't think will really be able to see a lot of this because it's happening like really far away, but I'm gonna try to take my little mossy bits without making this latex fall all over the place And now that it's starting to dry, it'll be stickier. And I can just kind of plop some of this on my skin. This moss is gonna struggle to stay on, I think. But you know what? Maybe I just need to be a little bit more generous with my application. This one might be a bad one to start with because like now I'm gonna talk and it's gonna end up falling off, but we're gonna make it work. Just gonna give it a second, get a little more tacky. This is gonna be really hard for you to see, and for that I apologize, but I gotta make the most of the time. It's gonna be really hard to talk, but once I'm done with this, like putting this stuff on, I'm gonna go and get the wig on as well as the outfit. And yes, there is a full outfit this time. Okay, we got moss. I can't really move this part of my mouth super well, but it's fine. I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna do the rest of the stuff I need to do. I also need to clean up all the moss mess that I just created on my table because it's gonna be a bit of a problem. But this is kind of where we're at. And then when I come back, we'll be fully finished and ready to do some chatting. Guess who's back? It's me in my full getup. I even have a tie. I hate to assume before the end of the season which one is my favorite, but I'm heavily leaning towards this one, in all honesty. The wig really made it. I realized it doesn't have bangs, so I put a little bit more moss up here to kind of blend the wig in with my face a little bit. And then I added a little bit more latex in some areas where it needed it, just to kind of help keep the moss attached to my face. Because as I was, you know, getting myself ready for this escapade, we were getting a lot of things in the way. I mean, you can see what's going on. There's just a lot going on. I'm feeling pretty damn good about it. Do you think it's time for some slow-mos? What do you say? Are you ready? I feel really good about it. I'm trying to be so careful. Like I was trying to take pictures and like move around my house, and I'm trying not to like move too much here because if I end up knocking all the moss off, it's gonna feel a little lackluster, you know? I think that a lot of things really worked in our favor on this one. One, I think that the sponge with the water-based face paint was a good idea. I also think that the purple eyeshadow, I mean, one, it matches like the idea of the film, but it also just like, it looks so fun and cool. And like the matching shadows on the lips, I used a little bit of a shimmer shadow on my lips and also to give it like a little bit of that highlight. I didn't want to add the gloss because I was too afraid that it would not last long enough for me to do this and then also my TikToks that I have to do after. I mean, damn. Just call me Miss Beetlejuice, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the one in charge now, as I should be from the start. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Just a nice, friendly, beautiful, wonderful reminder that I am still raising money for the Joyful Heart Foundation for the entire month of October because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We will be over on my Twitch channel, CaitlinJulian_Sims. If you're seeing this today, I post it tonight. Playing a scary game. Little Nightmares is what it's called. It's like a horror jump scary kind of thing. I'm hoping that we will make it to $1,000 raised. And once we get to 1,000, I have created merch that correlates to some sayings and some things that we talk about over in stream. One thing that somebody suggested from my video last week was it could always be worse. I'm debating putting that on a shirt or a sweatshirt or a long sleeve or something. So if you like that, let me know. And I can always try to do like a merch specific for here. But yeah, we're at $930 roughly. And so if you wouldn't mind and you have a couple extra dollaroos, description box down below. We're almost at 1,000. And then from there, I mean, shit just gets crazy. One of the donation goals that I put was that at $1,500, I think, I will do Bob Ross on my face. So I will follow a Bob Ross painting, but I'll do it on my face, which is like another fun face paint thing that we can all do together. So if you enjoy face paint, like I said, there will be another face paint only look on Twitch. And if we get to $1,000, I will put it on here as well. And that will be on Wednesday, October 30th. If you are feeling up to potentially like going and checking that out, I will be live starting at about 8:30 and then going until it's done, essentially, which could be hours, could be days, not really, but kind of. And that's going to be on a Wednesday. So thank you so much. I hope you had a great time. I know I did, but I got to go finish all this up before all this moss falls off my face, and then I'm screwed because then what am I going to do? I can't finish everything with all the moss on the ground. I'm really excited about how this turns out. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to like this video, comment down below what your favorite look has been now that you've seen this one, because you know, this could be the one. Oh no, don't fall. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because we have another look. We have a gory special effects look next week. Thank you all so much. I will see you next time. Hope you have a great rest of your day, week, month, or year. Bye. I don't have any crazy like bloopers to show you this time. I've been putting my animals in the background of all the bloopers recently, but they didn't do anything silly today. So it's kind of ruined, but here, I'll give you a close up as I get up here. Yep, that's the one.